Hello there guys, it's Joey and this is part 2 of Temple of the Dead range for the Starry Eyed Supply store. So this is a request, so the items here are requested and the video is requested as well to showcase the items. So what we're going to actually do for this video, so it's not just literally, here look at this candle, here look at this candle, here look at this candle. There you go. There's your madness for this video. We're going to talk a little bit about the aesthetic and the crossover, because there's actually two complementary but slightly separate energies here, because the request was for pillars and votives, a spell salt, a spell oil. Now the spell salt and spell oil are of the Temple of the Dead, and then the two of the pillars and two of the votives are on one energy and two are on the other. So just to recap the Temple of the Dead without perhaps going along the journey that we had in the first video, the Temple of the Dead energy was for ancestors, funerary rites, rituals, honouring the fallen, honouring the forgotten, karmic completion of blood debt, healing of old wounds, healing of the wounds of like spirits that might get attached to a place, as well as healing our own that are poisoning us and we're unable to move on from a state of mourning, releasing and cleansing of anything clinging where it ought not to be. And that can apply to sort of a spirit that is clinging where it should not to be, or things within ourselves which are attracting things that are not meant to be, or if we cannot move on from death and it's caused us such a wound that we cannot heal ourselves, we cannot function. So that's Temple of the Dead in a nutshell. Help, help, I'm in a nutshell. So the spell salts and the spell oil are of the overarching theme of Temple of the Dead, and I'm very happy with these salts. I don't know how, right, everyone laughs at me when I talk about the light, so I'm sorry, but we are currently operating in English grey, which means there's not a speck of real light to be found, and there's some weird colours going on here. Now, this matters for this because I hope you're going to get a good see, and probably the render will sort it out a little bit. But these are green. These are green spell salts, and they are all naturally dyed, plant extract dyed. There's no artificial nonsense going on in them to get this colour, and I was so chuffed with myself. You know when you have one of those moments like, I did it, I really, really did it. No, just me, just freaking weirdo me around my kitchen. But I really, really love how these came out. And there is something otherworldly about them. There's the Temple of the Dead main range actually make me think very much of like Hades and the realm of the otherworld and the realm of spirits. There's something very spirit based going on, and it's odd in a way because the aesthetic crosses between earthy and then ethereal otherworldly. So it kind of has like this physical manifestation of another world to it. That's why it makes me think of like Hades and the goddess Hel from the Nordic tradition, and the other world, the other realmliness, and I love how that feels. So I'm not going to go through uses of spell salts and things in this particular video. If people particularly want me to make a video like the spell oil one, then I will, but this video is going to be long enough as it is. So then we have the two pillars for Temple of the Dead. Now again, I don't know how well the colours are going to go on here because did we have to be completely grey the minute I managed to get the first. I've got custom orders up to my ears trying to get the energies right for things, and pillars, they take their time. So these are a deep green. Hopefully this will come out and they won't just look black like they look like to me, but then again my face looks some kind of weird ethereal pink on camera. I'm hoping everything will fix in the wash somehow. And okay, so you get kind of an otherworldly realm portal energy to the realm of the dead, to Temple of the Dead, to working with ancestors and spirits. So these are the votives. The votives, and I've just dropped the spell oil on. Excuse me, hang on. I'm sorry, this is so unprofessional. Oh, come back, spell oil. Right, okay. Oh, goodness. Leaping, spirits leaping things off. So as you can hopefully see, the two votives follow the same image. Lots of the shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. It's my catchphrase apparently. So yeah, I think they came out beautifully. So the Temple of the Dead is the main side of things. I'll show you the spell oil in a second, seeing as apparently it was desperate to get on camera, leaping out of the place. And this is for the ancestral side of it. It's a nice deep green, not only for the otherworldly realm, which I kind of feel that it kind of connects to really well, but because it's at the root of all things. So it gives it a kind of a grounding within earth magic, within the deep dark earth. But I didn't want to go down like a brown route. I really wanted this otherworldly green in there. And that's how it kind of crosses between a grounding, which is in the energies, and then like an otherworldly. So it gives a good safe haven in which to honor one's ancestors, to honor the roots of all things, to honor the fallen, the forgotten, the dead, whilst keeping it grounded and cleansed and not having any negative nonsense as a result. So then we have the spell oil. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake your booty. If the door rings now, it'll be 2 days in a row. And if you're on my Facebook, you understand that reference. And if not, then sorry, but you missed out on that reference. So there's the spell oil again. I'm trying to find some light, any light. Come on, England. I know, I know. I want people to see the pretty. I hope you can see the pretty. This is going to make taking photographs interesting, I tell you. Any photographers out there, when you're like, come on lights, come on. I feel like I'm constantly fighting with the lighting in this country. Right, so the other side of the Temple of the Dead range is similar, but it takes the thread of Shroud of the Mourner. Shroud of the Mourning. And mourning as in to have lost, and that feeling of loss, and to be working through that. So I decided we would have the otherworldly, otherrealmly realm of spirits working with ancestors on one side of the fence, and then the other side of the fence is kind of like the living and the mourning, and how death has an impact on us, and how we require grounding and healing and understanding and empathy when we're going through a phase of mourning. And that mourning really may never truly leave us in some sense. We never completely get over the death of somebody who we deeply love, but we can't remain wounded by it. So it kind of honours that sense of what happens to the living when death happens. So this is 2 votives and 2 pillars, and I wanted for the aesthetic for it to be the same weave, the same feel, but not the same exactly aesthetic. So these are the votives, and they are grey, they're a deep grey, and then they have a similar vibe. So if I hold up, there you go, so you can see, let's do one by one. Hopefully, there we go. You can see how they have, gosh, don't focus on me, focus on the camera. There you go. So you can see how they have a similar feel, but they're not exactly the same. And then the pillars are the same as the votives, the same aesthetic. Let's do one. And then we can do them side by side so you can see the pillar similarity. So again, it's a deep grey all the way through, light permitting. And Come on, please shine, shimmy shim for me, please. It's really, really beautiful. I think it has a cosmicness to it as well. Kind of destiny, a cosmic destiny to it. So let's hold. So then, and then again, Temple of the Dead, and then Shroud of the Mourner. And you can see they're similar. They have a reflection of one another within each other, but they are for different elements of the same process, and the process being to do with death ultimately, and coping and healing, and working alongside those energies within life. So I'm going to leave the video there. If you haven't seen the original video of Temple of the Dead where we talk about the smudge, it is about the smudge, but it also deals with talking about how I feel about spirits and spirit work, and so that is on the other video. I will attempt to do the YouTube thing to attach the video down here. I keep trying. It's not easy, but there we go. Either that or I fail at technology. The second one is more likely, but there you go. So that is the Temple of the Dead range and the Shroud of the Mourner range within the same feel, the same rainbow, if you like. I am going to make, I think, all of it available for repurchase, because I think it's a really strong energy. I think it is important. I don't know how often we really sort of bring to the fore products that deal with death and then deal with mourning in particular. I have two products on store already that deal with mourning, and I was thinking about it, that, you know, it's such a large part of life that I think it's worth bringing it for reorder. So it's going to be available. These are spoken for, these particular ones are spoken for, but I will make sure that pictures have taken everything, and reorders will be made available for remake on purchase. There we go. English in there somewhere. Okay then, many blessings.